Like a lot of you, I get a lot of my news information now from the internet. I don't watch too many news programs on television. So I was surfing this past week and I came across a headline that really got my attention. Let me share it with you. As a transgender, non-binary person, my abortion led me to gender dysphoria. Did you guys get all of that? I didn't. I've looked up the word dysphoria once again, just for your benefit and mine. It's a state of unease or generalized dissatisfaction with life. And so what also caught my attention with this article was the picture that was right underneath the headline. And it was a picture of what appeared to be a young woman, but not really sure. God bless her or him. And was opening up a jacket like this to reveal a T-shirt that said, "I had an abortion." So I'm presuming that it's a young woman who thinks differently than a lot of people about her gender, and with some confusion around that. And again, that's certainly from my point of view and from our church's point of view as well. She was quoted in this article, and I'll quote it. "I don't feel ashamed about having an abortion." That's so sad to even read that, coming from really anyone, any human. And she continues, "It was an easy decision for me." I don't know how you get in that place where that kind of a decision can be easy. She continues, "But as a non-binary transgender person, my abortion experience led to a lot of gender dysphoria." That's the quote from her, from the headline. "Every clinic had the word women's in the name." I'm thinking, well, yes, the last time I checked, only women can get pregnant. The last time I checked, therefore, sadly, only a woman can procure an abortion. There are a lot of people involved in that, and there's some men involved in that somewhere along the line, not taking responsibility, but that's a subject matter for a future video, a future recording. It continues, "All the pamphlets used gendered language and featured images of gender-conforming people." I'm presuming women who were obviously pregnant. "Still, I feel so lucky that I had the means to have an abortion." Again, it's just a sad phrase to me, and I suspect it is for many of you. "My life would have been so different without it." No kidding. She'd have a baby to take care of, to cherish, to love, to welcome into the world. "Since then, I've gotten married, found a job I really love, adopted a second cat." So, and this is also subject matter for a future video where there are lots of substitutes for children these days. For some it's success, for some it's a career, for others it's all of that plus adopted, what I call disparagingly, I'll admit it, what I called doggy children, cat children, substitutes for the real thing, and a very poor substitute at that. It continues. "I've had the time and energy now to pursue activism." I'm sure she has. "Hobbies and a lifestyle I enjoy." And that's, I suppose, what life is all about, pursuing hobbies and our own lifestyle and the pursuit of what the world would consider happiness. "I even started volunteering with an abortion fund to help drive people who need abortions to their appointments." So that's, in a sense, her ministry. It strikes me as so sad, my brothers and sisters, we have, as a pro-life church, as pro-life people, we have our work cut out for us. And just almost 2 weeks ago, I sent out a letter to all of our priests and deacons here in the Diocese of Fresno, and I included the Grand Knights of the Knights of Columbus because, frankly, sometimes if you want something done, give it to the Knights, and it will get done, especially if it has to do with a pro-life issue. This month, by July the 16th, there's a decision, a deliberation, and a choice that's going to be made by the Congress of the United States in collaboration with the administration, that is the presidential administration in this country, regarding what's called the Hyde Amendment. And in that letter that I sent out to the priests and deacons and the Grand Knights, it refers to a piece of law, legislation, that was passed in 1976, 3 years after the Supreme Court decision Roe versus Wade, which essentially legalized abortion in this country. We know that. But the Hyde Amendment, 3 years later, was an amazing, amazing political victory for pro-life people and for the pro-life movement. And sponsored by Representative Henry Hyde, God rest his soul, and it prohibits any taxpayer dollars, federal taxpayer dollars, from being used for abortion, with very few exceptions, and you can read about those. Look up the Hyde Amendment, very, very easy to find information. So I'm going to quote part of the letter that I sent. Some powerful members of the current Congress of the United States are now making an attempt to overturn the Hyde Amendment. This amendment needs to be, as they say, reenacted every year. It's a kind of recertification. It's been done by every Congress and every president in the United States since 1976. This year, that's in danger. The stated purpose is for it not to be recertified, and that's a problem. First time since that law has been passed. First time since 1976. So a gathering of politicians who are very good at spending other people's money, our tax dollars, they will not consult us. We have to make our voices heard. The USCCB, the National Conference of Bishops, Catholic Bishops, has launched a campaign to help us do exactly that. Make your voice heard. So simple. Go on to the internet and type in notaxpayerabortion.com. I'll repeat it just very slowly. notaxpayerabortion.com. We need to vote, send a vote, let our representatives know. You go on that website, it immediately comes up, you sign a petition, and all of these signatures, these petitions, will be sent to all of the appropriate members of Congress and to the administration, the Biden administration. It is critically important for we, as pro-life people, as Catholics, to send a strong message before the Congress makes its move. And so even more information can be found on another website, a little more complicated, respectlife.org/no-taxpayer-abortion. Brothers and sisters, we have a little over a week now to respond to this. So if you haven't heard about this already, make sure your pastor hears about this. If it isn't in your bulletin, it might be a little late to get it in the bulletin this weekend, but call your pastor today and make sure that it gets into the verbal announcements at some stage at every Sunday Mass that is celebrated here throughout the Diocese of Fresno. We are pro-life people. And I pray for that young woman that I referred to at the beginning of this message. I do. I pray for anyone who, from my point of view, seems to be so confused. And I'm sure she would tell me, she would tell you, I'm not confused at all. Bishop, you're the one who's confused. You're the one who's not educated. Bishop, you're the one who's not awakened to the current reality. I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, my brothers and sisters, but I do absolutely profess a pro-life stance. I do profess what I would consider really perhaps a different world, a world that I grew up in and that I lived in, that I hold on to. Not clinging to it for dear life, but holding on to it because it's sensible, it is rational, it is scientific. It's based on biology, it's based on theology, it's based on God's Word. So, thank you for listening, and God bless you and those you love always and in every way.